my 6-month French Bulldog, Monte, but he is a good boy. He also sees his food up here. Royal Canine French Bulldog puppy. Yeah, it has like chicken byproduct meal. So I got him a Spot and Tango on cake. They look like this. Freeze-dried green beans. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the French Bull vlog. I am very excited to announce that over the weekend recently we hit 100 subscribers, and I'm so excited that 100 of you guys are watching my content and tuning in to see everything I have to say about French Bulldogs and the advice that I have to give. My name is Delaney. If you are new here, this is my 6-month French Bulldog, Monte. He's always so excited, and then I get him in front of the camera and he gets nervous, but he is a good boy. He also sees his food up here, because today we are talking about the French Bulldog diet. Now, this has been a highly requested video. For those of you that are requesting French Bulldog raw diet, I will try to do a video on that. I don't currently give Monty raw food, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to put in that research and figure that out for you guys, but I will do it in the near future. I also want to do a giveaway sometime soon, probably when I get closer to 200 or 300 subscribers, so help me get there. And without further ado, I have my little notepad of things we're gonna touch on today, because within the French Bulldog diet and just puppy diet in general, there is a lot to touch on. So I'm just gonna scratch the surface today. Hopefully I can do a part 2 soon. But again, thank you guys for getting the Frenchie fam to 100 subscribers. That's awesome, and I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I do wanna talk about is that high maintenance dogs like French Bulldogs do require high quality care. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to get your French Bulldog on a super expensive food, but it probably does mean not giving them the below average, poor foods that just are not good for your dog. Kind of like you wouldn't fuel your body with fast food every single day, 3 times a day, or at least I hope you don't, because it's not great for you. And so I'm not gonna name any brand names or any food names in general, because I'm not gonna call people out like that or call companies out, but you know, we all know who they are, and I would suggest not giving your dog that food because they just don't have as much nutritional value. And yeah, there's a bunch of reasons, and I can also do a video on that if you guys really want me to. That's a huge topic as well. So if you guys want me to do that, let me know. But secondly, I do want to touch on, there is a website called Dog Food Advisor, and you can type in the name of your dog food and it will give you a rating on what, it rates the food overall, and then it'll break it down by proteins and carbs and fats and all that kind of stuff. So you can really see what's going into your dog's body and if it's good for them. So I really recommend Dog Food Advisor. They helped me pick Monty's current food, and we're gonna get into that as well. But before we do, I do wanna say things like gas, smelly stools, and just being overall really lethargic probably means your dog is not getting the best nutrients from their food, and it might be time to look into a switch. That's just all I have to say about that. French Bulldog or not, that's probably a good rule of thumb to live by. For French Bulldogs in particular, I do recommend giving small pieces of kibble. So for example, there are some dog foods that, they're a pretty decent size kibble, and this will cause French Bulldogs to choke, could give them reflux or regurgitation issues. You don't want to deal with any of that. I recommend the smaller size kibble, the better. So that's just what I have to say about size of kibble. Next, and this also goes for French Bulldogs in particular, and that is allergies. So French Bulldogs are known to have a lot of different food allergies, and Monty does have a poultry allergy. So we cannot give him anything containing chicken or eggs or anything like that. And we learned that really early on when we were feeding him, and I'll get into this, but a certain type of food that I personally do not like the brand, but it was recommended by the vet. And so we went with it, but super allergic to it. He can't eat it. He was just throwing up, and we could just tell that he was not feeling the best all the time. So be careful with that when it comes to your Frenchie. Also, consulting your vet for feeding recommendations is always a good thing to do. I'm never gonna say not to do it. A lot of vets do promote brands that aren't necessarily the best quality. You know, it's just kind of what they're paid to do, and that's okay. Just make sure you do your own individual research. Now, the next topic I could also probably go on forever about, and I will probably make a separate video about this. I have done so much research, and I suggest that you do too for your dog, and that is grain-free or grain-inclusive. Now, so many studies have said grain-free is bad for your dog. So many studies have said grains are bad for your dog. I don't know the answer 100%. My opinion is that I decided to give Monte grains just because they never seem to affect him in terms of allergies. He gets wholesome grains, so things like barley, oats, flax. I don't know if flax is a grain, but he does have flax in his diet, as well as like quinoa. He does have quinoa as well. I just choose to do that. He hasn't reacted bad to it. He seems, you know, still happy and healthy with the grains in his diet. A lot of people disagree. So do your own research. I'll probably make a video on that without it being too opinionated and just 100% research based in the near future, because I know it's something that's a big deal within this community and just the dog community in general. Now, this pretty much goes without saying. Make sure the food that you are giving your dog has proper nutrients. Basically what I mean by that is give your dog what they're supposed to have in terms of their life stage. So for example, Monte is a puppy, so he needs things like DHA in his diet to improve his brain function and stuff like that when he's young. So we actually do not have DHA in his food, but we do give a DHA supplement because we found a food that we really like and really works for him, and it didn't contain DHA, so we just do that on the side. But make sure you're knowing what's going into your dog's body and what they need at that particular stage in their life. So senior dogs, you know, may need different ingredients and nutrients than a puppy, and that just, you know, kind of goes without saying. So make sure you're getting that included within their diet. And then before I talk about what Monte eats, I want to touch on changing foods. So Monte is currently in the process of changing foods, and it kind of seems like we're always in the process of changing foods just because I'm trying to find the one that he's going to be able to stick with for the rest of his life. So I made the mistake, and I'll own up to it. I transitioned his food way too fast. I got overly excited. I started giving him his food, you know, kind of within 2 or 3 days of, you know, mixing it with the old food. And with French Bulldogs, you can't do this because they do have sensitive stomachs and they will get gassy, stomach aches, lethargic, you know, all the bad things. We had a really bad night with Monte where, you know, he was just not feeling good, you could tell. But yeah, so just watch out for your dog, you know, what they're doing, watch their body language because they will tell you how they're feeling. But yeah, so change foods. With French Bulldogs, a good rule of thumb would be 7 to 10 days. So incorporate that new food for, you know, 7 days, you know, longer to really make sure that their stomach is adjusting well. We will probably go much longer because the first time scared me. So I'll probably go 3 weeks of incorporating the new food before fully giving it to him, just because I'm kind of a little bit terrified of what happened last time. You know, I could tell he was just feeling bad and I felt like it was my fault. So that's what I have to say about changing foods. Now, without further ado, let's get into what Monte eats. So I was that, I don't want to say unknowledgeable, but I didn't do a ton of research when I got Monte because I just figured I was going to give him the same food the breeder had been giving him. And he ended up getting car sick on the way home when we picked him up, and he threw up his food, and after that he would not touch it. So I asked the vet, and they did tell me to get the Royal Canine French Bulldog puppy. Now this is chicken. Yeah, it has like chicken byproduct meal, just not the best thing for your dog, and it just has a ton of ingredients that you can't read, that aren't that great, that are, you know, probably chemicals and stuff like that. So this still has a lot of food in it because we do not give him this anymore. I was able to do the research and figure out that this is not the brand that I wanted to give him. And not only that, it's just chicken and he won't eat it anyway, but I would stay away from brands like Royal Canine, but that's just my personal opinion because my dog didn't do good on it. If your dog does great on it, that's completely up to you. But that was his first food after the breeder's food that she was giving him. His second food, I want to say we tried, was the Hills Science Diet, I think it is, and it was the puppy chicken and barley or something like that. And that one, again, chicken at this point, still didn't realize chicken was affecting him. That one didn't go over well. And I also don't know how much I trust a brand like Hill Science Diet. There's just been recalls and stuff like that that I wanted to stay away from. And that's just personal choice. After that, I was like, 100% he's getting human grade, food. I wasn't gonna take the chance anymore. So I got him the Spot and Tango Unkibble. Now basically it says it's beef, barley, flax, carrots, green beans, beets, cranberries, rosemary, kelp, and nothing artificial. It looks, basically like freeze-dried raw food. So like they look like this, and it's just like freeze-dried beef, freeze-dried green beans. There's like freeze-dried cranberries, all that kind of stuff. So a super healthy, clean food he was getting. This is the only fresh dry dog food, or the only fresh dry food for dogs. The only problem with this is it was on auto ship, and he was going through it before I would get the new shipment. So he would be out of food for like a week and a half, and I'd have to figure out what I was gonna do and what I was gonna give him. And I just don't think he was very full on this food because he was always going back to his bowl. He was always, looking a little bit underweight. So I decided that I was gonna transition off of this food into his current food, which is the Stella and Chewy's raw coated kibble. It's oven baked. It contains wholesome grains. It's for small breeds, so there's the very small little pellets. This is the grass-fed, poultry-free, potato-free, legume-free beef recipe with pumpkin and quinoa. It was important to me that it was made in the USA just because the USA has FDA guidelines on dog food. So I thought that was very important. But basically, this just contains a lot of omega-6 fatty acids, omega-3s. It has beef, lamb, oatmeal, barley, pork, beef liver, beef fat, pumpkin, quinoa, chia seed, beef kidney, beef tripe, beef bone, sunflower oil, flaxseed, salmon oil, coconut flour, organic cranberries, spinach, broccoli, beets, carrots, squash, blueberries. I mean, just like a bunch of clean ingredients that, are really good for dogs. So he's currently getting this, or at least being transitioned to this food. We can pick it up at our local grocery or dog food store, which is nice. So I don't feel like, I'm gonna run out. I can always just go get more. And another thing about the Spot and Tango is that it was not found in dog stores, which is not necessarily a red flag because they do it on the subscription base. But I do like having a food that's trusted enough by pet stores to allow them to sell it. So basically, I do want to show what his food looks like. They are super, super tiny little pellets. The power and taste of raw in every bite. So check out Stella and Chewy's. I've heard good things about it. We decided to put him on this one, and that's just kind of what we went with. And he really likes it. He's taking well to it. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you guys want to see another video about Monte's diet or what's, the French Bulldog diet, or, not, if you would rather see hauls or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe. Again, help me get to 200 subscribers and grow the Frenchie fam. I really appreciate all your guys' support. And until next time, bye guys.